Good morning, and welcome to the graduation of the 142nd Columbus Division of Police Recruit Graduation.
Your left, right. Your left, right. Count, count. Ready, recruit. 2. Better do your best. 3. Before you find yourself. 4. In the leading rest. 1. Hit it. 2. Skip it. 3. Up it. 4. Bring it on down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You like it here, you love it here. Finally found a home. A what? A home. A home away from home. Your left, right. Mark time, march. Detail, halt. Left and right, feet.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Commander Lowell Rector, and I am the Training Bureau Commander for the Columbus Division of Police. On behalf of Police Chief Elaine Bryant and members of the Columbus Division of Police, I welcome you to the graduation of the 142nd Recruit Class. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation from Father Leo Connolly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, Division Chaplain Father Leo Connolly will give us our invocation. Good morning, Father. Good morning.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, as we come together for this special time, it is made sacred by its purpose, as we gather together to celebrate the graduation of these new police officers. They have engaged in much training and preparation for this day and for their future. We ask that you bless this gathering as we listen to words of guidance and inspiration. We ask this, as always, in your most holy name, you who live and reign forever and ever. Amen.
Please be seated. Class, seats. I would like to introduce some of the distinguished guests on the stage who will help celebrate this graduation. Please hold all your applause until everyone is introduced. City Council President, President Shannon Hardin. Director of Public Safety, Director Kate Pashotti. Chief of Police, Chief Elaine Bryant. First Assistant Chief of Police, Chief LaShawna Potts. Assistant Chief of Police, Chief Gregory Bodker. Fraternal Order of Police Vice President Brian Steele. Chief Deputy John Scowden, Delaware County Sheriff's Office. Chief of Police Justin Price. Chief of Police Eric McKee. Chief of Police Mike Woods. And I'm going to add one on the end here. Mr. George Edler from the 42nd Recruit Training Class. Mr. Edler, please rise. The basic training staff members who were responsible for the training and guidance of these new officers over the last 31 weeks are Lieutenant Mark Dopp, Sergeant Keith Barker, Officer Jack Adkins, Officer Chad Dunham, Officer Samantha Edwards, Officer Dave Freetag, Officer Mandy Kaza, Officer Jason Law, Officer Lindsay Lee, Officer Tim McClellan, and Officer Brad Wanamaker. I would like to thank the staff for their continued significant contributions to this recruit class and the Training Bureau. On Monday, March the 1st, 2023, Lieutenant Mark Dopp and Sergeant Keith Barker took charge of the 142nd Recruit Class. Lieutenant Dopp, report.
Sir, 41 members joined and formed the class, 147th recruit class. Today, 27 members remain. Over the past 31 weeks, each officer completed 1,240 hours of training and has satisfied all requirements of the state of Ohio and their respective communities. Today, all 27 stand ready to serve the City of Columbus, Delaware County, Ohio, City of Dublin, City of Hilliard, and the City of Newark. Sir.
Well done, Lieutenant. The staff's dedication allows me to say I am very proud of the entire class for their accomplishments in meeting the challenges of becoming professional police officers. Thank you again, staff. Each recruit class elects class officers. The officers of the 142nd class are Officer John E. Young, II. Officer William E. Rogers. Treasurer Mitchell G. Slaughter, Hilliard. Secretary Trenton A. Morrow, Hilliard. The orator, Officer Michael S. Kelso, Hilliard. At this time, Officer Young will recite the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics.
As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve the community, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all and will behave in a manner which does not bring discredit to me or my agency. I will maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life, I will be exemplary in obeying the law and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided to me in my official capacity will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duty. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, political beliefs, aspirations, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, and I accept it as a public trust to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of police service. I will never engage in acts of bribery, nor will I condone such acts by other police officers. I will cooperate with all legally authorized agencies and their representatives in the pursuit of justice. I know that I alone am responsible for my own standard of professional performance and will take every opportunity to enhance and improve my level of knowledge and competence. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself before God to my chosen profession, law enforcement.
Please welcome City Council President Shannon Hardin.
Thank you, sir. To Chief Bryant, to Safety Director Kate Pashotti, to Training Commander Rector, to Father Connolly, thank you, but not thank you for putting me behind the class orator, Officer Kelso. Give it up for Officer Kelso again. It truly is an honor to be here once again, and it really is a glorious day in the city of Columbus. I also want to recognize the chiefs of Dublin, of Hilliard, of Newark, Delaware, and Dublin for their coordination, participation, and really partnership as we serve the Columbus region. And also to my friend Brian Steele, representative of FOP. Would you please give them and leadership a round of applause as well? And then would you recognize yourselves, the family members, the mothers, the fathers, the wives, the husbands, the children of those who have sacrificed over these last several months, and truthfully those who have signed up for a lifetime of sacrifice. Because we say it often that those who serve with these uniforms, it's not just them that serve, it's the families that serve. Would you give yourselves a round of applause for your sacrifice and service to our community? I said it was a glorious day in the city of Columbus because on today, we have 27 folks who have answered the call to service. I truly believe that service is a calling. And that calling, specifically with public services, is becoming harder and harder to answer because so many in our community are distrustful of institutions, public servants. The work is different. The community, the challenges that these graduates will face will be different, with mental health, with poverty, with a world that is changing. And yet and still, they stood up and they answered the call. On behalf of a very, very grateful community, we say thank you. As I do every graduation, I ask that God places his hedge of protection around each one of these graduates today, that they enter their home the same way that they leave their home every day, safe and secure, with the love of a family and a grateful community. On behalf of my colleagues, on behalf of the mayor of the city of Columbus, I want you to know that we will have your back, that we will make sure that you have what you need to protect our citizens, but also to, again, make it home safely. You are the most well-trained, the most well-equipped, and supported police department, and we want you to feel that way, and I want the family to know that we will have their back because they are protecting our residents. On behalf of a very, very grateful community, we say thank you and God bless.
At this time, please welcome Director of Public Safety, Director Kate Bisciotti.
Council President Hardin, Chief Bryant, graduates, friends, and family. It's my pleasure and my privilege to be here today on behalf of Mayor Andrew J. Ginther in celebration of the 142nd recruit class. We're proud to be the toughest, most comprehensive, and most highly regarded police academy in the state of Ohio. Nowhere else will you find the caliber of training and training staff that we have here. That makes your achievement all the more remarkable and worthy of celebrating. The standards are high because the stakes are high. The responsibilities placed on the training academy and all who come through these doors are exceptional. Public safety and public trust rest in your hands. And if that's not something you fully understood walking into the academy, I'm confident that you do leaving here today. And still you signed up, you stepped up, and in the moment you will swear in an oath to uphold these critically important principles. For that, you have my respect and gratitude. My mother, father, and brother all served with the Columbus Division of Police, so I have a deep appreciation of the fact that you don't get here alone. You won't serve alone or sacrifice alone. For that, I extend my respect and gratitude to all of the loved ones here today and everyone who has supported you, encouraged you, and lifted you up along your difficult road to today. As you embark on your public service careers, I ask you to remember your training, remember your oath, remember the 2 pieces of advice that I gave you yesterday, and always remember who we all work for, the residents of the great city of Columbus.
Class, all attention.
Can you raise your right hands and repeat after me? I state your name.
Edward Young. William Evan Rogers.
Mitchell George Slaughter.
Trenton A. Morrow.
Michael Scott Kelso.
Joshua A. Bowden. Patrick Charles Booth.
Nathan Alexander Campbell.
Ethan David Clapper. Drew A. Eaches.
Gregory Daniel Feldman.
Robert Sean Alex Hessling.
Philip Raymond Hughes. Tyrone E. Johnson. Brendan Theophil Miku. Jesse Adam Patel. Matthew E. Reardon.
Nicholas Michael Schickron.
Russell Christopher Snyder.
Gloria Jean West.
Connor James Ingram.
Kyle Jordan Snyder. Rich C. Barry.
Guy R. Colson.
Joshua B. Weber.
Isaac Dalton Jamal.
Mason Allen Miller.
Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio,
the laws and ordinances of the City of Columbus,
the laws and ordinances of the City of Columbus,
The Delaware County Sheriff's Office.
City of Dublin,
City of Hilliard.
City of Newark.
and the rules and regulations of
and the rules and regulations of
the Department of Public Safety,
the Department of Public Safety,
Division of Police,
Division of Police,
that I will not affiliate with a defined hate group,
that I will not affiliate with a defined hate group,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of police officer
discharge the duties of police
to
officer
which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
according to law
according to law
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability.
Seats. Please join me in welcoming Columbus Division of Police Chief Elaine Bryant.
Good morning. Ooh, can you hear me? This is an amazing day. First, I want to say thank you to Council President Hardin, Director of Public Safety, Kate Pichotti, and my respective chiefs, Dublin, Newark, Delaware County, and Hilliard. I stand here alone, but I don't stand here alone. I have an amazing executive team. Could you please stand up and be recognized? That's you too, Assistant Chief Bacher. I just want to say that it's days like this that make us a proud department. You took a monumental step in joining the law enforcement team. It's a calling, but what I want you to remember is your why. Why did you join the police department? Never forget that. We had an opportunity yesterday to see your personalities. Never forget to show your personalities. Never forget to humanize the badge. And to the families, thank you so much for supporting your loved ones through this journey. There's no way that we could do this job without your support. You said the code of ethics, and I want you to remember something. It's words, but they're important words. You said something. You said, I'm going to keep my private life unsullied as an example to all and behave in a manner that does not discredit me or my agency. Never forget those words. They are extremely important. You are the face now of your law enforcement agency. When you're off duty, they don't care that you're off duty. You represent your department. You represent law enforcement. You also said something. There's going to be good times and there's going to be bad times. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. But even when you're at your lowest, or even when there's chaos in this profession, remember to maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule. Develop self-restraint and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. If you do that, you will never go wrong in this profession. Always remember that. We are grateful for you. We are grateful for these agencies that sit here. It's funny because I remember somebody saying yesterday that they couldn't wait to graduate from the academy. They couldn't wait to get out there. The academy will be one of the times that you look back on that will be the most memorable and the most fun times you've had. The brotherhood and sisterhood that you've developed in the academy will forever remain. You will go out there, you will get new partners, you will meet new people, you will develop new bonds, but never forget the people that you sit on this stage with, the people that you develop this bond with. Whether you're in Hilliard, whether you're in Newark, whether you're in Dublin, you will always have a tie to each other. Continue to have each other's backs, continue to learn, continue to grow in this profession. I'm looking at some future chiefs, deputy chiefs, sergeants, lieutenants. Never be afraid to step up. Never be afraid to mentor the next person that's coming behind you. And to the families, just like President Hardin said, you walk through this with them. There's going to be some holidays where you won't see your loved one. There's going to be some birthdays that they miss. There's going to be a lot of things that they're not there for, but they're going to depend on you to support them through that. And just remember that your love, your support is going to sustain them in this profession. And never forget who you serve, your community, your city, and your other law enforcement officers. Continue to have each other's back. Continue to uphold this profession that many have forgotten why we're here and what we do. But we have not forgotten. We love you, we have your back, we're going to continue to support you, and we're going to make sure you have everything you need to be successful. Thank you.
We will now hear from the class order. Officer Michael Kelso.
Good morning. My name is Michael Kelso, and I am incredibly honored and thankful to be one of the graduates of the 142nd recruit class. On behalf of this entire class, I would like to welcome some of our distinguished guests that we have on stage. Thank you, Council President Hardin, Chief Bryant, Chief Woods, Chief Paez, Chief McKee, and Chief Deputy Scoden. It is truly an honor to have each and every one of you guys here today. I would also like to extend a special thank you to each and every one of you guys sitting in the crowd here today. All of the family, friends, and loved ones are here because you care about one of these new officers on stage. I believe that I can say without hesitation that we would not be here without you guys. And I know that you guys have showed us unwavering support that did not just begin on May 1st, 2023, but long before then. During this incredibly challenging but rewarding academy experience, we've had to lean on you guys now more than we ever have. We thank you. Now, as we officially become police officers for the city of Columbus, Hilliard, Dublin, Newark, and Delaware County, the challenges that we will face will become much harder. There's no more sterile training environment. There's no more sim rounds. There's no more scenarios. What we are about to encounter is the real deal. So we ask that your unwavering support of us to continue as we enter this phase of our career that we have worked so hard to achieve. And to our training staff that has put up with us for the last 7 months, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I'm sure at times it was not easy to have to deal with us, and I'm sure at times you even questioned if any of us had what it takes to do this tough job. But we want you to know that it is because of your hard work, diligence, care, and commitment that we are able to be sitting up here today. Thank you. Class 142. On May 1st, 2023, we all stepped into this building as individuals. Individuals who had no idea the mountain ahead of us that we had to climb and the challenges that we had to face. I can proudly say that as we sit in front of you guys here today, that ideology is no more. This is not a class of individuals. This class is one team that is prepared to go out into our respective communities and protect and serve every day to the best of our abilities. Throughout our training, we were put in situations that stretched us farther than we ever could have imagined. The main theme that came from this was that we were all together. When we were doing wall sits in full riot gear because the city flag touched the ground during our morning formation, we were all there together. When we were running until our legs gave out during PT, we were all there together. When we were stressed out to the maximum, doing scenarios, doing Hitman, whatever it was, we were all there together. Class 142, it is now time to go out and be the real police, and there's no other group of individuals that I would rather start this incredibly rewarding career with. The Columbus Division of Police has 5 core values. The first of these values is professionalism. We were taught this through the academy by always having to look our best with our uniforms and them always needing to be in perfect conditions. We ironed our shirts and pants for countless of hours, attempting to achieve the perfect crease line, which required a ridiculous amount of starch. Our boots were required to be shined to the likes of a mirror with no margin for error. Staff would always stress to us that our appearance was one of the first things that somebody will notice about you, and that it can determine the outcome of the encounter that you're having. The more professional that you look, the more respected you will be. Staff had very kind words for us when we did not uphold this standard of professionalism through our uniforms, very kindly calling us a soup sandwich. And if you were lucky, they might have let you carry around an old iron all day, wherever you went. Respect. Respect is something that we were taught through the way that we are to address any non-recruit that we encounter while we are on academy grounds. While in the everyday world, greetings amongst people can be boiled down to a simple head nod or hello, that's not how it went here. We were taught sir, yes, sir, and ma'am, yes, ma'am. This has been ingrained in our brains as a baseline for how we are to treat civilians that are in need of help and to each other as a sign of respect. Police officers often encounter people that are having the worst day of their life. This little showing of respect that costs nothing for us to give can mean more to them than we will ever know. Furthermore, integrity. Integrity is one of the most important values that a police officer can have. With this badge that we now have, we stand behind the many that come before us, and we're a part of something bigger than ourselves. This badge in itself is a symbol of integrity and trust that we will not let people down. Here at the Academy, there was no tolerance for excuses. Whenever we made a mistake, and I think our staff can attest, there were more mistakes than anyone could ever begin to try and count. Rather than trying to explain how it wasn't our fault or how this happened or that happened which led to this, we were taught to take ownership of them and learn. Integrity means doing what's right, even when nobody's watching. We live in a world now where this is more important than ever. I have no doubt that through the training we've received here over the last 31 weeks, these officers alongside of me display a great amount of integrity in all that they do. Discipline. Discipline was taught to us here in many ways that to some of us may have once seemed silly. We were taught to post in the hallways for any non-recruit that we saw. For a long time, I thought that this was just one of the games that we had to play here, and it served no purpose rather than giving the staff an opportunity to see us mess up and yell at us. But I could not have been more wrong. Posting constantly taught us to be aware of our surroundings and to maintain situational awareness, because you never know what could be coming next. We were made to study our 10 codes and learn them word for word, comma for comma, letter for letter. Knowing what a code is verbatim taught us that we had to be disciplined in our studies and that there was no room for error. Lastly, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is one of the most important tools that a police officer can have on their belt. Displaying this enthusiasm in our jobs will make us better each and every day. Enthusiasm is displaying a sense of urgency, which we were taught that here by having to run on the first floor and in the parking lot on Academy grounds. No matter how many things we had to carry in our hands, no matter where we were going, we always had to be running. This sense of urgency harvests a feeling of enthusiasm that will make a difference in our communities. Through our hours of training in crisis intervention, we were taught methods of active listening skills and other various skills that show us how to show compassion towards others. And that's how we are to treat people in our everyday lives, with that compassion, with that enthusiasm. These skills that we now have will help us show enthusiasm in all that we do. These core values will stand as a baseline for how we are to conduct our career as law enforcement officers. Class 142, when we stand true to these values and hold them near to our hearts, there's nothing that can stop us from achieving great things. I'm so proud of all that we have achieved thus far, and it makes me even more excited that this is just the beginning. What we are now about to embark on will be a bigger challenge than anything that we have already faced. But I think that this academy has prepared us more than we will ever know. In closing, this class that once walked into the building as strangers 7 short months ago will now go out onto the street in a few days as a team. One team trusting that we have each other's back through anything. To the chiefs, families, and citizens of our respected communities, I can assure you that the 142nd recruit class is ready to serve. Thank you.
I tell you what, that was motivating. I'm ready to go and start again. How about another round of applause for Officer Kelson? Chief Bryant will now present the class awards. Officer William Rogers receives the Scholastic Award for maintaining an academic grade point average of 96.12% for 31 weeks of training. Officer Drew Eaches receives the Physical Fitness Award through 7 months of hard work based on flexibility, stamina, endurance, and power. Officer Eaches earned a 96.6% success rate. Officer Reese Berry receives the Defensive Tactics Award of Excellence for outstanding performance throughout all defensive tactics training. The Shooters Award goes to Officer Brendan Miku. The Shooters Award consists of a total score from the NRA course, City course, and the Ohio Police Officer Training Academy course. Officer Miku shot 97.4% accuracy, 1,243 points out of a possible 1,250 points. Congratulations. One final thing we'd like to recognize is Chief Woods from the Hilliard Police Department would like to recognize Officer Trent Morrow for his participation in the Police Explorer program. Well done, award recipients. We will now present the graduation certificates to the class. Please hold your applause until all the certificates are handed out. Class President, Officer John E. Young II. Class Vice President, Officer William E. Rogers. Class Treasurer, Officer Mitchell G. Schlatter, Hilliard Police. Class Secretary, Officer Trenton A. Morrow, Hilliard Police. Class Orator, Officer Michael S. Kelso, Hilliard Police. Officer Joshua A. Bowden. Officer Patrick C. Booth. Officer Nathan A. Campbell. Officer Ethan D. R. Clapper. Officer Drew A. Eaches. Officer Gregory D. Feldman. Officer Robert S. A. Hesseling. Officer Philip R. Hughes. Officer Tyrone Edward Johnson. Officer Brendan T. Miku. Officer Jesse A. Pertel, Semper Fi. Officer Matthew E. Reardon. Officer Nicholas M. Shekram. Officer Russell C. Snyder. Officer Gloria J. West. Deputy Connor J. Ingram, Delaware County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Kyle J. Snyder, Delaware County Sheriff's Office. Officer Reese C. Berry, Dublin Police. Officer Guy R. Cullison, Dublin Police. Officer Joshua B. Weber, Dublin Police. Officer Isaac D. Dumalt, Newark Police. Officer Mason A. Miller, Newark Police. Ladies and gentlemen, the 142nd Columbus Police Recruit Class. Class, attention! The term guidon comes from the Italian word guidon, which meant guide or marker. This symbolic type of flag originally aimed to help units establish a sense of pride. However, there was a practical use to it as well. There were sentimental uses, but guidon flags also provided a rally point for soldiers during battles. Several years ago, the Columbus Division of Police Training Academy instituted class guidons. Guidon flags is a tradition of the Columbus Division of Police. The 142nd recruit class will now post the colors for their class. Guidons, post! Please stand. Please welcome again Division Chaplain Father Leo Connolly for the benediction.
Before I say the prayer, I'd just like to say that having had the privilege of being involved in several graduations, I noticed, Commander Rector, that as the Commander Academy, there are some things a little bit different. You can obviously tell that you served in the U.S. Marine Corps, and that's had an influence on this ceremony.
It does, Father.
We thank you for your service. Let us pray. This is the time for going forth. these new officers and deputies will go forth as chosen people. As Chief Bryant said, they chose this career, but ultimately also they were chosen by others, by you, and by those in the community who may have recognized their special calling and their special gifts. May they recognize always that chosenness is a call to duty, a call to service, and to sacrifice. There will be times when that call will be very difficult to accomplish. And so we pray for that gift, as stated earlier, for the gift of perseverance. We ask that you shield them with your protection. We ask that you be with their families, their loved ones, and their friends, as they too share in that chosenness, that vocation of being a support to their loved one and their friend as they, in the exercise of their duties. We continue to thank you for your many gifts. We ask that these new officers use those gifts not only for themselves, but for the good of all your people. May they be true peacemakers in a world that needs that peace so very much. We ask this, as always, in your most holy name. Amen.
Seats. Before I tune this out, I just want to give one last thing to the officers of the 142nd Recruit Class. Welcome to the Watch. It's good to have you here. Be safe. Thank you for sharing in this graduation today. After the ceremony, you are invited to tour parts of the training academy and view the police equipment displays located in the lobby and outside. In a few minutes, in 10 minutes, you can watch the final class formation to be held in the courtyard at the flagpole. Please remain at your seats until the officers have left the auditorium. Class, attention. Sergeant Barker, take charge of the class and carry out the plan of the day.
Left and right, face. Forward, march. Go left, right. Training here has sure been great.
Training here has sure been great.
Now I get to graduate.
Now I get to graduate.
Training here has sure been fun.
Training here has sure been fun.
I'm so glad this training's done.
I'm so glad this training's done.
Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Are you weak or strong?
What's wrong?
Sound off.
1, 2,
Sound off.
3, 4.
Break it on down.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This concludes the ceremony. Congratulations to the 142nd Recruit Class.